Thank you so much, moderator. Some of the strategies that we are using to improve wetland management. First of all, we sensitize them about the wetland values and the goods that they sure that we use the approach of ownership. We want the unit to feel that wetland that for times is when we have really failed to convince them, or when they have refused the truth to understand.
I think they have not been sensitized yet. Why always face challenges?
We have done a lot of we are everywhere on the community. Another?
Wait, as a young person, passionate about this country and I follow trends. But on TikTok, challenge. I don't know if you know the meaning. The challenge from names of water, supporting these young people, talking about environmental protection. Much more in involving young people. I can assure you, most of the people here are on their phones. They're checking on Twitter, they're on TikTok, they're whatever social media they use. So please, I think you need to change the strategy.
Yeah, that one also. We are the second of annual celebration. We celebrate with them. They participate a lot. We also awareness to in schools. No, it is true. It is true. If you've been watching these events, schools have been active in these. There are very many. Like last year, names of the schools. They participated as we are using. So when we do restoration I mean demarcating the wetlands, then allowing them to regenerate. After we've done that, actually we start with the awareness creation, then we do those things. After we've done that, we develop what we call wetlands management plan, where we have regulated the activities in wetlands. We identify stakeholders who are involved in this activity, fish farming, like grazing, on how to manage and use that wetland.
Okay, I'm settling. About it. we actually, when I watched that video that this gentleman presented to us, my mind was thinking about the drainage that along Northern Bypass in Boise. It looked like that drainage. You are in positions where you can advise government. Actually, for you in a better position to advise government than these politicians, because policies drafted from you guys, right? So please, can you tell us, relate your presentation to the technology that has been presented to us? Do you think it can help us? And how best can we involve key makers in this country to make sure maybe we can have that, solve the issue of the drainage here?
Yeah, actually, in my speech, if you can remember, I say the technology for Truxor is is real-time. It can be implemented in our issues, like in that very drainage channel that you're talking about. We have other issues like water hygiene. As I talk now, because we were concentrating on Rubiji, but if you visited, is it Port Bell? We have a lot of water hygiene. I think it would be a good place to start with using this technology. Yeah, even at water, as she's saying. What was the other question?
Thank you. I'll get back to you for.
How many people here are terminology ecosystem services? So, telling what is ecosystem can be quantified. It can really be quantified. So, if we have that point, then we have a different.
Now that you still have government, technology is going to be central to ecosystem management, and I'm sure so many companies, so many organizations have been here trying that technology so unique in wetland conservation.
The company which I come from, which I am co-founders. As I said, this is a water resource restoration company. See, we manufacture machines, our own. We import some machines from Sweden. There are other reed harvesting machines available out there. I don't know, in some of the videos you have seen, it's a conveyor kind of machine. The water hyacinth is kind of captured. It's a larger machine. It uses a conveyor. There is a storage which is there in the machine. It stores, and then the machine goes to the shore, or it is transferred to a transport barge or if it's a larger lake, you put it onto a barge and then brought to the shore. I'm just talking about water hyacinths or any kind of weeds, weeding process I'm talking about. Demobilized, mobilized at ease. In certain applications that becomes okay, but in an urban landscape that's not a possibility. That, as I said, is deployed in a day, can be from one without any kind of ignorance and transmission. Very effective, versatile, multiple tool attachment which goes on top of it. It's not a unidimensional machine. It has multiple.
Thank you.
Having water is put in the digester, and it produces energy and fertilizer. But you see, in our Uganda setting, our lives are dictated by our economic level. You find that constructing a digester for an individual is actually not possible for every Ugandan. And when you pick these water hyacinths from the lake or from the river, wherever you picked, and you place it somewhere, according to our seasons, it will automatically come back to life. Now, when it comes to our Ugandan setting, what advice do you give us? Because not every Ugandan, not all of us are going to be using these digesters. That means we are going to pick it as a problem from one space of environment. It becomes again a problem in another space of environment where it has been deposited. How do you advise us?
So, I remember I mentioned it's 90% water, right? Water hyacinths is 90% water and the biomass is only 10%. So, if you are going to transport it using a truck to a landfill or whatever, it is extraction. We cannot keep on doing it year on year because it becomes a big burden on the municipality or any agency which is working on it. How do we monetize it? How do we subsidize it? How do you make money out of it? That's the key thing. Did I answer your question or is it partially? No. Yeah.
My argument is, let me use an example of what we had as a problem, but at the same time it would have been a resource. I'm going to give you an example of the biodegradable waste that we have been accumulating in this city. Now, we would accumulate so much that was heaped in Kitezi. It was a problem in the city. It was taken in one place. Again, it became now a worse problem by killing people. Now, we are going to say we are dealing with the problem from the water bodies. Now, we create another problem because we are going to heap it somewhere. The government is not able to construct this kind of biodigester you're talking about. We heap it somewhere, it again becomes a problem by killing people. What have we done?
So, the there is this Victoria Lake out there where there is water hyacinth. Is it because of the channels it is coming to the city? Is that what you? No, I get the question.
No, she's asking. You're not providing solution after taking that water hyacinth. Where you keep it, do you have mechanism of reusing it? Yeah.
So when we're taking it, extracting it, as soon as we extract it, directly going into the digester, then and there.
But we don't have capacity to have. Assuming we don't have, okay, assuming we don't have.
Yeah. So this is the challenge. Yeah. No, madam. The problem we have is exactly this. We have, like, there are many things we need to resolve if you want to process it. If you are going to just address one portion of it, and we are not going to address it, I'll give you an example. One of the projects which we are engaged in, we have supplied this machine and we are going to run this machine for the next 5 years. Okay? So I thought I have resolved the problem. My responsibility to extract it up to trucking is my problem. But I left the trucking part. Now what is happening? The municipality doesn't have the resources to run these 10 taps, 12 trucks to the landfill. Just because that is not addressed, the entire project is collapsed. You understand? So whether it is slush, so I'll give you another example of the slush. The sludge is basically from the decaying of water hyacinth and whatever. So this is almost 20 to 30% depending on what strata you're looking at. Sludge is there. If you're going to transport the sludge in its condition to the landfill, we have talked about 40 to 50 trucks. The minute we dewater it, we take the water out of it, we are going to talk of the 40 trucks comes to 2 to 3 trucks. So, are we going to invest in this dewatering plant, which is going to, reduce the trucking, or are we going to continue trucking 20, 40 trucks on a daily basis for the next 365 days to the landfill? It's a question we need to ask. How do we resolve this? So are we going to spend in the long term, or spend something which is the short term, which will resolve the problem? I don't know that I have answered this question, but yeah.
Thank you very much. I have my questions and submissions, but let me slightly respond to her. Her interest is very important. She's looking at closing the loop, and she gave reference to what previously happened in Chelsea. It's true whatever happened in Chelsea because we failed to put up an infrastructure. And who puts up the infrastructure? It's the government. It gets back to our priorities. Now, as a policymaker in NEMA, one of the key things you're supposed to push, I mean policy draftsmen or women in NEMA, you are supposed to make sure that proper infrastructure in line with closing the loop, not only for water hyacinth but waste management, is put in place. You see, we are looking at Chelsea, but when you go to places like even India, that is biomass is burnt into energy. They even produce more waste than us in Kampala here. But why we suffer those consequences is because we do not plan adequately. And that is a learning lesson for all of us. Now, coming back to the gist of the matter here, Truxor is bringing a technology of trying to make sure that we maintain wetlands, right? And I look at it in two ways. There is an opportunity, but this opportunity cannot be explored by we the citizens alone. Government has a hand in it. And I remember I was asking this lady from NEMA, as I conclude, from the ministry, who was saying, I was asking just like UNRWA subcontracts people to maintain the road results, right? And I was asking her, does the ministry also subcontract people to maintain wetlands? If so, it gives us an opportunity to bring that machine and then we get contracts. Now that is money. That would be more sensible So we also put up in place technology to make sure that when you pick the water hybrids, we have the technology either to burn it and get fertilizer, or we can go ahead and borrow that Kenyan technology that I had that makes bioplastics, and we close the loop. So here you look at the opportunity that way. However, we cannot do that alone. Government must put up an infrastructure, and the ministry must also go ahead and sensitize the various stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is also one aspect where we can talk about the gap funding.
But I think that Christian interest, if there is any way you can improve on your technology, after getting that water, and can you give it a name that government does not invest more? So if there is any way, that's high interest. And I think it should be everyone's interest.
And as in, we should not have water hyacinth ever?
Yes. And yes. Yeah. To close the loop that you mentioned, after getting that message from the lake, please, can you do something using whatever technology?
That's what I mentioned. We can make way better.
Why not? Yeah, no, it's making, yeah, I mentioned that there is a steady to make out of cactus today, let us out of it. We can make way to do out of our eyes. It's very interesting to look around. Start looking at the experience of your parents, grandparents, what all that the old days of the anecdote violence. Also the knowledge, not only from the north and south, but look from the south, from here to the west and east. Look at the making there's so much knowledge, and the guy students will also had to earn extra points when they were living to around 1970, and bonus points that was living to around 1950, and when they lived to around 1900, it was perfect. So go for the old knowledge, and because the thing in the whole recycling approach, the whole closure circle, it's not rocket science, it's not difficult, but it is look again, use all the knowledge, but also try to understand what you do, and then actually the circular approach is for a big part is just bookkeeping. Try to find out what works. And just an example of circularity is a very simple one. In Holland we do have a soil bank. When somebody has sent extra, he can send an email to the organization, I have sent or soil, and it's an administration that is a system approach. For the big part of the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Yes, government has enough money to sponsor these initiatives. That's the first point. Secondly, I want to add my question to the Truxor group. I've seen this machine extracting the biomass, I mean, the water ice and other plants in water. How about the frogs, the fish, and other that ecosystem? How are they protected? Another question also, is about to the empowering the youth, because we have the youth here, opportunities for the youth. They can do some like what you're doing, maybe like making the biomass, making the charcoal, making the bio. Making other products in line with what you from the water, bodies, or the wetlands and other processes. Secondly, how shall we use that machine one area to another area, because we have the chains, how we transfer from one point to another. Shall we use other structures to carry it, or shall we transport it within guidance? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, with regard to how it affects the aquatic life of the ecosystem, if you see the way the machines work, the bird life or whatever, when the machines are there, the birds are happy to work along with these machines because it all the worms or whatever they want to eat basically comes out of the soil. So they're very happy to collaborate with you when the machine works. The machine is designed in such a way that the machine, as soon as it touches, if it's sufficient water, that is in the water, it starts floating. Right? So it doesn't really fiddle with the fish life out there. That's the second part of it. The third is, I don't know whether you saw the video, the machine can come in and out of the water on its own. That's why it's called the amphibian machine, right? So it has this even inclined 35-degree climb to come out of the water. Then they go on to these trailers, which transport them from point A to point B. Or if it's a larger water body, you basically use the propulsion to go from long distances. So the track is basically used when it's in operation. It can plow through. It's basically blowing through the sludge or the silt, and the minute it hits water, it starts floating, and the plant basically becomes the mode of transportation. So yeah, this is the answer to the question.
Thank you so much. What the community Christian and the friends are trying to emphasize is we don't need to bring the problem before we finish the problem we have in Uganda. The biggest problem we have in Uganda is waste management. People have been able to waste, but we cannot be able to manage it. It is not the fact that we don't have manpower. We only lack technology. When you look at this house, you might find that 90% of them are doing what we call waste management, entrepreneurship, but they have never been supported by the international community like you, who are coming in, intervene, and create a huge problem of waste. So it would be prudent for us to discuss on how you can get these waste after putting them up. Then these young ladies who are making crafts can be supported with the technology to manufacture something out of that waste and get money out of the day. That's what I wanted to emphasize. All along, that's what we have been trying to tell you. Thank you.
You know, young people are very energetic. So.
Okay, thank you so much. Mine is a technical question to the Truxor group. Now, like any other equipment, what are some of the bottlenecks that Truxor is experiencing? For example, I believe the machine is both mechanical and electrical. There's a bit of pneumatics and hydraulics. And recently we had challenges of microchips in the automotive world. Basically the machine world since COVID 2020, and most OEMs are facing challenges in getting microchips in running the machines. Now the automation issue at hand, do we have the support system to mitigate, assuming we get the machines running here in the country?
Thank you. Another question?
Thank you very much. I want to thank the Truxor team for the presentation and the team from Wetland Department that presented to us. My question is, the Truxor team, are you looking forward to partnering with institutions, especially the tertiary institutions, the universities, to transfer knowledge to the young Ugandans, especially in the technology that you're trying to bring to us? That will be very important, because if you don't build capacity, then you're not helping Ugandans to be able to sustainably manage wetlands. Because when we're looking at sustainability, it should be life after us. So if you can partner with institutions and transfer knowledge, that will be very important. Then, the technology that you're bringing to us is a commendable one, but the biggest question from colleagues is how to manage the waste, especially if you clean our water bodies and remove the water hyacinth. How should it be managed? Now, I want to challenge my colleagues that let's not put the entire task to the Truxor team to close the loop. Let's look at this as an opportunity, an entrepreneurial opportunity. Because if the team comes and removes water hyacinth from our water bodies, then we should ask ourselves, as Ugandans and especially young people, what can we do to put the waste, the so-called waste, into use and make money? Because there are several products that can be made out of the water hyacinth. Now, we should ask ourselves, how prepared are we, or how can we prepare ourselves to take charge, to tap into the opportunity presented by the technology? For instance, just a second, some of the products that we can make out of water hyacinth, we have handcrafts and decorative items, paper and cardboard. Now, if we can prepare ourselves to make paper out of water hyacinth, then we are saving our forests and we will make money. We can make furniture and home decor. We can make textiles and fabrics, biofuels and energy, animal feed and fertilizers, and so many things. So us as Ugandans and young people, let's not say there's no money. Government does not have capacity to put up such infrastructures. How can we start small? You start small and probably tap into the opportunities presented. And if Truxor is removing the water hyacinth, then I should be able to pick them and make something out of them and make money for myself. I thank you.
Thank you so much. You can answer the questions. Meanwhile, I want to inform you that we have started. Not questions. We are hitting the time for a social hour. So please, in case I pick you, which is not like it happened, just know we are time is against us and we have a social hour. So please, even panelists, be mindful of the time. It's coming 6, and we need to get out of here. Okay, so
may I answer? So I think regarding the technology, it was like a good question, and it actually connects pretty much with your points as well, because I started with speaking about sustainability, right? We are speaking about sustainability, and it's very important to look at why, how, what. So why do we have to do it? How should it be done? And what should be used? And to be frank, we do the easy part. We make the machines available. You have very good points, but you also conclude in a good way. It is actually up to Uganda. We can help you collaborate, bring the knowledge, because what is really amazing is that we managed to sell this machine to 74 countries so far. I think this, hopefully, Uganda will be country number 76. No, I think somebody can come in between. But let's hope for 75, that would be good as well. And you can see that Rudy is jumping up and down here. He would be very happy to teach you, he says. But we are, let's say that discussion a little bit for later. And then regarding to the question about bottlenecks in the machine, we have such a beautiful factory. This machine is made by us. We invented the machine, we invented the concept. So we have something that is called very good vertical integration. Basically, we get the pile of sheet metal to one port in the factory, one, and then we get the pipe tail in the other one. We do the cutting, bending, welding, and assembly for the Truxor and all the 30 machines. You mentioned some key components like hydraulics and electronics. And yeah, that's it. We need to buy hydraulics and electronics, and we actually managed to do that without any issue during COVID as well, since we did a good planning in ahead, and we didn't deviate from the plan. So we just kept on going and kept on buying and kept on manufacturing. So far we have not had any major issues with components, and we have control over most of the flow, so we don't really see bottlenecks at the moment. Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that you are able to mitigate the bottlenecks and the unforeseen circumstances in terms of parts and the required resource. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, for those who are still having questions, we have cocktail, social hour, so you can ask those questions from there. Yes. And sir, we just have one question for Commissioner, another one for, of course, I will give a chance people from Ministry of Water, but it's 1 minute. But before, I want to invite Ms. Amito Fiona Jasper from Diverse Minds Uganda. You have strictly 2 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm Amito Fiona Jasper from Diverse Minds Uganda, an organization that is committed to helping the neurodivergent community. I was invited here by Jim, when I heard about what your organization is doing. It's an opportunity to be with you people. You may be wondering why I'm here, talking about the neurodivergent community in relation to Truxor, what you're doing in wetlands. I'm a mother to a special needs son, and also an advocate, and a co-founder of Diverse Minds. We saw this as an opportunity to partner up with people to also bring awareness that our wetlands are healing factors to our children. Yeah, so when we talk about preservation and healing the wetlands, we're wondering whether we could partner up and work together hand in hand as we heal the wetlands. And we make these wetlands also friendly to our children and healing. When we talk about children with autism, children in families across the world on the neurodivergent spectrum, maybe cerebral palsy, and the wetlands are calming places to them. Nature, when they look at the birds, these are calming environments to them. So we're urging you as a Truxor, as you heal the wetlands and talk about preserving them, could you also create friendly zones for these children? Because you notice most of the wetlands in Uganda, like maybe resorts, have a lot of loud noises, a lot of crowds. So these are not friendly to our children, and we're urging the community, you people, as you heal the wetlands, can you have that at the back of your minds that we have the neurodivergent community, and they can benefit from this, and create maybe learning signages, create noise-free zones for these people as they also partake of this nature, like they shouldn't be isolated. Yeah, so that is my urge to you as an advocate for this community. Thank you so much for your time, and really we applaud you for thinking about the wetlands. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Amito. Now that time is against me. I think these gentlemen, the active youth, they are on my neck, and I need to give them half a minute, and I'm very serious about that. Please, guys from National Youth Cadres Association, you have less than a minute to introduce yourself and tell us what you have really wanted to tell us.
Good evening once again. My name is John Mahiri, specifically from National Youth Cadres Association Uganda. First of all, I appreciate Dr. Jones, the CEO, and the team for coming up in Uganda. And also I appreciate Dr. Jim, our coordinator, who has been working hard with our guests. So specifically, due to time, we shall not take much time here. Being young people, so for us, we are much confident with our audience, and also we need to take it to do, just have a brief speech, which I think we shall, our gender balance, I will be here to do it, and good indeed. Thank you very much.
National Youth Cadres Association, present here, you can just raise up your hand so that the CEOs can see and know that we are the majority. Yes. Thank you. I'm Nahania Emmanuel Guru. I'm the National Vice Chairperson, National Youth Cadres Association, working with NRM Secretariat, apparently. Thank you. We have already presented the concept to you, so you can just go through as she summarizes. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Nambaza Harriet, the General Secretary, NYCA Eastern Region. And on behalf of our chairman for the association, I'll deliver his speech as he noted it. He says that I am deeply honored and grateful for the opportunity to speak at this timely and critical National Youth Conference on Waste Management. I extend my sincere appreciation to the organizers, Asante Sana. Waste Management and the NYCA are coordinating for recognizing the urgency of waste management in Uganda and for mobilizing young people to lead the change. We meet at a time when Ugandan cities and communities are struggling under the weight of unmanaged waste, plastic pollution loads and drainage systems, organic waste roads in open spaces, and the threat to public health, biodiversity, and climate stability grows every day. Yet in the middle of this crisis, I see something powerful. I see opportunity. As climate activists and scientists, we believe that waste management is not just a problem. Waste management is a resource in the wrong place. With the right mindset, policies, and partnership, we can transform waste into wealth, jobs, energy, and fertile soils, specifically for the youth. Our wetlands, once essentially alive, are now dumping grounds, but through sustainable wetland management, including innovations like biomass conversion for fertilizers and invasive species removal using machines like the Truxor, amphibious machines, we can restore ecological balance while creating economic value. Fellow youth, we are not just the leaders of tomorrow, we are the solutions today. We must innovate, use science and technology to find smarter, greener solutions. We must educate, raise awareness in our schools, communities, and online platforms. We must mobilize, organize cleanups, drives, recycling hubs, and posting initiatives. I hope the Ministry of Water and Environment, you're listening. Advocate, push for strong environmental policies and proper funding for waste management systems. I therefore call upon the government, private sectors, partnerships to invest in youth-led, I'll repeat that, youth-led green enterprises. Give us tools, training, and trust, and we will deliver the results. In conclusion, we can turn the tide. In conclusion, let this conference not end with just good speeches, photo opportunities like the ones pinned outside there. Let it be the beginning of a movement led by the youth, powered by innovation, and driven by the dream of a clean, green, and sustainable Uganda. Okay? Together we can turn the tide on waste, wetland degradation. Together we can protect our platform, one community at a time. Thank you, and may God bless you all for your efforts and innovations. I've been Namuza Harriet on behalf of NYCA, Chairperson, Uganda. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think I would have done a disservice not to give you an opportunity to make your maiden speech, and we are grateful for that. I'm going to have Christine from Ministry of Water and Environment. As you make your last remarks, please, I have a question from someone. He's asking, what is the Ministry doing about the presidential directive for not developing or approving projects in wetlands, even if they are among the regulated activities in wetlands? For example, fishing and other regulated activities. Please be brief.
Okay, thank you. About the presidential directive, the ministry has been implementing the directives. There are many. And as I talk now, we have stopped issuing permits in wetlands. Yeah. We are in the process of cancelling titles in wetlands. We started with the Greater Kampala. So we are implementing. Thank you.
And the demolitions you have been seeing in Luigi. Thank you so much. I'll take this opportunity to thank the team from Truxor. Thank you so much for this initiative. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Jim and the team. Thank you all the participants for the active participation. I want to assure you that as a ministry, we are committed working with you because this comes to help us as a nation at large, and we will be in a position to partner with you with the support from government. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Since Afande Smith Subuga has also worked, as I mentioned earlier, he has been in policy, he has been in parliament as member of parliament, so he's still Honorable Smith Subuga. Yeah, he was also senior officer in the Uganda Police Force. He is now a commissioner in Uganda Human Rights Commission. Really has experience to make closing remarks for this event as we go for social hour. And I know, being that majority of people here are below 35 years age, they must be more interested in that after a very long day. So, Honorable Afande Commissioner Subuga, you're most welcome. I used to follow him when he was still a spokesperson of police. That's why I know him much.
Yeah, thank you, the MC. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to give brief remarks, brief closing remarks. First of all, when I came in, I was so impressed by the presence of younger people. Kindly clap for yourselves. And a few minutes I've been around, I've observed your contributions and your discussions. It's very clear that, first of all, you appreciate the problem facing our country, the problem facing our city, and then you have provided solutions. So the organizers, Truxor Uganda, and our brothers from Sweden, from India, thanks a lot for your presentation. These are very good presentations. And during that time, I was sharing a few issues with them. When you look at what they are presenting here, it's so good for our country. And it can solve the problem of waste management, environment, and all that. Just use an example. From Namona to Wise, look at that stretch. Because of the soil in the drainage system, because of the water body, the bottles and everything, when it rains, you see water flooding everywhere. But assuming you have the equipment which are presented here, it will help us to solve the problem there and then. So, the representative of the key institutions, as far as this problem is concerned, that is NEMA, KCCA, National Water and Sewage Corporation, the Ministry of Water and Environment, I'm sure you have took note of this. One institution which you have left out is Parliament. You know, Parliament is very key as far as this decision is concerned. Because it's only the government which can buy these equipment. So those agencies I have mentioned. And if the government is to buy, the money is appropriated by Parliament. So I hope that in the next time we have such a forum of this nature, we'll get some members of Parliament to come and attend. That is very good. Like my friend from Nakaseke is around here. Hey, so that is very, very good. So on that note, we are very grateful. Thanks a lot for organizing this meeting. And my humble request that you
you are in Masaka before Kampala, but you can also extend. You know, Jinja, for example, they have a similar problem and other parts of the country. On that note, I hope the MC has given the opportunity to officially close this meeting. Thanks a lot, stay well, and God bless you. I say all this for God and my country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm told we have a boat where we are all going to sign. So please don't forget sign here. Here. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, the mark is here. Nicholas, you can guide as I inquire from Proceed. You, Commissioner, you are supposed to be non-partisan. You're looking for yellow marker. You're supposed to be non-partisan. Meanwhile, the cocktail is ready. You can leave when you feel like you want to leave. You can leave at leisure. You're free to ask telephone number from your colleague, as long as you're sure the conversation you're going to engage in is constructive and it's constructive and it relates to environmental conservation. In case you want a car, we have people from Scania. They have very beautiful buses. You can engage in transport business. We have our friends from insurance company. Please reach out to their table if you have any question. If you want insurance. We also have people from Values Kada, something. If you want to be a member, you can reach out to them. But for benefit of those that joined us later, your moderator is Katawaro Andrew. And we are free to interact. Thank you, and God bless you for God and my country.